The conversation about Hillary Clinton's paid speeches continues, and this time coming to the so-called liberal network, MSNBC's Morning Joe. Now, they were discussing paid speeches in the context of college and college debt with a panel, including top Clinton supporter and former DNC chair, current lobbyist, Howard Dean. So now during this discussion, Howard Dean is going to absolutely be fucking destroyed by a lowly producer and his ability to Google. Watch.
It's these kids who are going to be strapped with $90,000 in debt or $120,000 in debt, and she's making $225,000 in 1 hour. It's a problem to these kids who are going to live for the rest of their lives trying to pay off college.
There's a big problem.
That she's going to these campuses, she's made all of this money, it undercuts. She's fighting for people like you.
I totally
they worry
disagree
that
with
she's fighting for people like her.
I don't think people in America resent people who make money, and if they did, Donald Trump wouldn't be leading off.
But making it off of college kids who are taking on tens of thousands
She's not getting $225,000 for speeches in front of colleges.
Yes, she is.
She's not. I mean,
Howard, it's a matter of record.
What college?
I don't know. Alex, Google it, and we'll give him the answer in 10 seconds.
She's making $225,000 a speech in front of business.
I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
That's right.
No, hold on.
Okay, so wait a minute. I have been very quiet while you guys have roasted Hillary Clinton.
I'm going to let you speak. I'm telling you, though, she has been paid $225,000 speaking in front of colleges.
So it's at least one.
At least one that we know.
I'd be interested to know what it is.
So I will tell you as soon as somebody Googles it. Go ahead. So the bottom line is this. Is it UNLV or UCLA?
Both.
It's okay. UNLV in October of 2014. She got $225,000.
All right.
Then a month later, UCLA, she got $300,000 in 2014.
I stand corrected and I'm mistaken.
She got over $500,000 from 2 colleges. I'm pretty sure.
I will humbly eat crow.
That is sort of pathetic. That's kind of one of the more pathetic things I've seen. Howard Dean, you just got owned by fucking Google. Way to go. Oh, okay, so maybe I'm being a little hard on Howard Dean, right? But even then again, even Joe Scarborough knew. He knew. It was a matter of public record, he said. Man, Scarborough made him look like a punk bitch. And I'm not in favor of Joe Scarborough. I'm not in favor of Joe Republican, right? But even he's like, no, dude, that's not right. You're fucking wrong. Google it. Oh, I love it. Anyway, so let's get into a little bit of substance here. The argument holds true that you really can't relate to college kids that are in debt if you yourself were able to work through college and graduate without debt, which is Hillary Clinton, right? She worked through college and she thinks that we should all work through college to pay for it. Now, the problem is that college is incredibly unaffordable at this point. So even if you wanted to, and a lot of people do, working through college won't even make a dent in your debt. For example, if you go to school that's about $100,000 a year, right? Well, tuition alone is about $25,000 a year. Well, that's about half of what the median American family makes per year. They make about 50 grand. That's sort of your baseline, your median, right? If you're paying half of that just to take care of your schooling, you don't really have a whole lot left. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying that it's pretty difficult. You kind of have to have a pretty good job to begin with, which is not something your average person in school, in college, has. So there's the difficulties, right? And I know that there are different circumstances. There are grant scholarships as well as, community college, which are a lot cheaper, right? But in general, most people of modest means, people who are working class or lower middle class, can't exactly graduate from a 4-year university without amassing some sort of debt, even if you are trying to pay as you go. It's very difficult. A lot of people have to rely on their parents or a spouse. That's one of the things that makes it difficult to pay by yourself just how much the college costs these days. It's very difficult to afford. That's a huge difference from when you could work and pay off school, right? Back when Mrs. Clinton went to Wellesley College, right? So to say that Hillary Clinton is out of touch on this issue is not unfair at all. I think it's incredibly fair. And getting speaking fees from these universities, I think, is something that's important when you talk about in the context of the huge rise in tuition. It's not at all unfair to point that out. And there are a lot of people who are out of touch. Generally, people who are older are more successful. They don't know how much more expensive college has become, especially in the last 20 years. It's hugely expensive. So anyway, let's go into the subject of Howard Dean. Howard Dean, in that clip, he admitted, okay, I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. Okay. Now, that's good. He apologized. Now I'm going to destroy him. You see, I've got issues with this guy. I have issues with Howard Dean. And I'm gonna say it. He's a sellout. He's an absolute sellout. And I don't say that lightly. Because I had respect for him when he was running as a great progressive. Now, he's a health industry lobbyist. He went right through that revolving door. And that's something that I can't stand. Remember, all that money apparently is worth selling your soul to the health lobby. And I don't agree with that. Now, in 2009, if you guys can remember, Howard Dean praised single payer. He was on Democracy Now!, calling the idea, quote, by far the most economically efficient system. That's because, as Dean noted at the time, a Medicare for All style single payer system would cut down on a bureaucratic overhead and do a better job at controlling prices. And now you have Senator Sanders, who's out there saying, let's have a Medicare for all, because it does exactly those things that Howard Dean laid out. But now, however, there's some hypocrisy.
If I could interject as referee for a moment, I mean, it strikes me that the sort of legitimate good faith attack is to say, look, it was really hard to pass the ACA. Opening up a fight on health care politically could backfire, which is the most charitable version of what Chelsea Clinton was saying, as opposed to the idea that, like, Bernie Sanders is going to try to take away your health care, which seems implausible.
I don't think, well, I mean, yes, Bernie Sanders certainly had no intention of taking away anybody's health care. The question is, would his plan result in the kind of chaos of trying to implement it that, in fact, would undo people's health care? That people should be concerned about. Look, we're never going to have a sensible debate about this between now and the convention. It isn't going to happen. There's too much politics in it. But in fact, this is the classic race of the visionary and the pragmatist, and I've chosen the pragmatist.
It could wreck your care. I mean, we could have this chaos that could undo your health care, so let's not bother. This is the Chelsea Clinton attack all over again. This is him saying, in not so broad of terms, well, if you go with Senator Sanders, if you vote for him, and he's going to do his health care, well, you might lose yours. It's that same attack. And it's coming from Howard Dean. One of the voices that was pushing single payer is now saying, you know what? Maybe not. Chaos, too much chaos. Better not. Go with Hillary Clinton. You know why? Because I made the pragmatic choice. I gotta wonder, maybe it's the money that changed his mind.